and tell your friends about it. Go tell your friends about it. Tell them about it.
And yeah, like I've just been dating with intent. I swear, like honestly, like I've dated with intent. I've just met people with intent. I've traveled with intent, and for me, it's all about just moving with intent as well. You know, and whatever that means for me is just like it'll feel good, you know, and whatever you want to do with that. Like if you take a step in life with just moving the way that you want to move that feels good for you, it's a win.
Yeah, 100%.
It's 100% win for you. You know, like if you move in a way that no one's telling you what to do, society's not telling you what to do, you've won.
Yeah. Because as much as you can be like in any kind of relationship with somebody else, you can never forget about your own purpose and your own journey and just jumping onto theirs.
Of course.
And once you do that, is how people always just lose themselves.
I
love
really
that. I love that
so much. So I think when I was about 17 years old, I got into a relationship. I'm gonna get really like serious.
Go ahead, girl.
I don't usually talk about this. Everyone thinks that I'm like this, like real stern, like girl that you just can't like talk to.
She is
like,
very stern.
But I'll tell you, I didn't always used to be like this. I absolutely
not
didn't.
just getting vulnerable on us.
I did not. So when I was about 17, I was one of the girls that would go from relationship to relationship. So but to be honest, I've only had 3 serious relationships in my entire life. So, and they probably started when I was about maybe 15, and one went for about maybe 2 years, and then the next one was about a year.
Yeah.
And then when I was about 17, I met this guy. I was 17 years old. So imagine yourself when you're 17. You're very fragile. So when I met him, I was like in love. Like, and the only time I really ever, like, it's probably one of the time I felt, you know, a little bit in love. But this time I felt I was so in love with him.
Yeah.
And I literally, as you say, like, I just felt, I was Ken.
Yeah.
I was Ken.
You were Ken in the Barbie.
Ken.
Right.
I only, like, when he looked at me, it was like, okay, my day's made. You know, I didn't care about anything else. Like, I was so in love with him. And I never thought he would hurt me. I would never hurt him.
Yeah.
And then about 2 years into a relationship, it was, I found out that he cheated on me. So that was like the most heartbroken I'd ever felt in my life. I was about maybe 18, around that time, 19. So still very fragile age.
Yeah.
Anyway, as I did, we went on because I believed that he would change, as you always do. You give them a second chance.
Yeah.
So I ended up giving him about maybe 4 or 5 chances in the end. Before, and this went on for 6 years of my life. So I was at about 23 years old after this when I actually finally called it quits.
Yeah.
But just going back to what you were saying about not knowing who you are if you are attached to another personality, that was me. I had no idea who I was.
Yeah.
And I got out of that relationship. I moved to Auckland because I knew I had to get out of it.
Yeah.
I moved out of Whangarei and moved to Auckland. And I did not know who I was. I didn't even know what I liked because everything I liked was attached to who he was. You know? Like, what movies I watched, what food I ate, what time I ate, when I went to the gym, what I did on the weekends. It was all about what he did because I wanted to make him happy. And I thought that the more I gave, the more I would get back from that relationship. And that was not the case at all. So I was 23, had gone through my whole degree, was living in Auckland, and you know, he moved to Auckland actually to be with me. And then after about a week, I realized that's not what I wanted at all. And I actually ended up breaking up. But I did not know who I was, and I had to find myself in the period of 23 to how old I am now, which is 24. So only a year. But I have changed so much because I finally let that go and just said, Jess, you know, like, as much as you wanted that to work, that is never going to work for you.
Do you think though, like as women, like we give ourselves to men like too much? Like that's my question. Like, do you think as women, we like as much as we say we're strong, independent women? Do you think that we really give ourselves too much to men?
We do,
without even knowing. Without even knowing,
we do it once.
Do we?
Yeah, you
we
learn.
only do it once.
You do it the
now,
once.
I don't want to give myself to
You
anyone.
won't.
I won't give myself to anyone. I don't give my time of day to
anyone. You're
And
very
it's-
particular. I know this about you.
and
You're
it's
very
because of
particular
that
about
relationship
who.
that I'm
Yeah.
like the way I am.
Yeah. What about you, Seb? Like, do you find, because I know about you, you've been in a long-term relationship, you've been married, and so like for marriage for you kind of looks like giving yourself, all of you, to your partner.
Yeah.
And so do you think, as strong independent woman, you've given yourself to that man, would you do that again? Or
See, and that's like such a hard thing for me, because it's like literally I've been within a marriage for like, it's like 6 years.
I don't want to get vulnerable with you, girl.
I think we're all getting vulnerable.
I know.
And it's good because
It's good.
you need to. Girls are
Because
not
this is literally our group chat. Like literally, this is the things that we talk about on our Sunday dinner. But
It's
tell
not
me,
all
Seth.
rainbows
Tell
and
me, Seth.
butterflies.
Because
Tell you
I know. I didn't mean to ask you that question, but go ahead.
Absolutely not. We've both been crying.
Tell me. Tell me.
I know.
Boyfriend.
Okay.
But no, it's like, for me, it's like I never imagined myself being married and then, coming into like a divorce. Like,
Yeah.
Working out. You never think that would happen.
You
Yeah.
know, this is me. This is my person. This is forever.
Yeah.
And I think the hardest thing as well is when you split with somebody, not because anybody did anything to someone.
That's worse.
Like none of us got cheated on. It's not like,
I can't,
somebody
yeah.
was really bad or whatever. It's
just not working.
When you can literally grow, like when I started finding my own path.
How did you do that?
I think it's like it just really came with age as well, and an opportunity and things like that, because obviously when we got together I was like 17.
Oh yeah.
So from that to now being like 26-year-old me, I'm such a different person.
You are.
What I liked back then was also very much based on like, oh my god, what does he like? Like, what do you eat? Okay, I eat that.
You want to go to the gym right now? Okay.
I'm gonna do that. Yeah.
But that's such a natural thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's such a natural thing, and because you're so young and in love, and when you're young and in love, it's ride or die, bro.
Yeah, it is.
Isn't nothing benefiting
It is.
when you're young
It is.
and you're in love? It is
Fuck,
just
that love is strong.
lush. isn't
I
it?
actually have a different opinion on that, because obviously I haven't grown up in New Zealand, and I've also never been in. I have been in a serious relationship, which carried out from like high school to college and after that, and I was toxic in love, and I can say that I will say what he liked, I liked. What he did, I did.
Love is blind.
Love is
And it's
blind.
so
Love
true.
is blind for me, and I've kind of grown out of that, and I'm on the right path. Yeah.
And I'll also say love is deaf too.
Yeah.
What do you mean deaf? Nah, listen.
Nah, you're
Watch
not
yourself,
loving
man.
life.
He'll never
Let's-
do that. That's not true.
That's what I mean.
He'll never do. I can hear what you're saying.
No, but
She
La,
said,
la, la,
wait, Seth said love is deaf. I never heard that in my
Love is
life.
deaf. Love is
Listen,
deaf
love
and
is
blind.
deaf.
But
Honestly,
listen.
when I hear love is deaf, it's like my man did what? Nah, that ain't him.
No,
got the
but-
wrong
That
one.
wasn't him.
No,
You got the wrong
Shut up.
motherfucking what? I'm trying to tell you. What you said? You said who did what?
No,
That
my
ain't him. He was
but-
where?
I
That
just
ain't
mean,
him.
like, when I say love is deaf, I mean as in like sometimes you're not totally hearing what this person is saying. To you.
Here.
You're hearing what you want to hear that
I
they're
get
saying
it.
to you. Do you know what I mean? You're not hearing
done that before.
what he's actually saying to you.
Yeah.
You're hearing what
You
wanna
wanna hear.
saying to you.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? It's like
He
Yeah.
does not want to hang out with you. He's just busy.
Honestly, it's like, oh, I quit my job and I'm about to start this little pop up,
yeah.
but we ain't got no money.
Oh, he's an entrepreneur.
I hear you, but that ain't what I want to hear. Bitch, that ain't what I want to hear. Oh, the
Yeah.
Barbie movie. Okay. So we went to go see the Barbie movie. Me and Seb went together, and then Jess went to go see the movie by herself. What'd you think about the movie, Jess? Like, I want to know your thoughts, like honest opinions, because I had mixed reviews.
Yeah. So I think I went in there with quite a lot, like with the high standards and like a really high kind of
Expectation.
Expectation.
Yeah.
Expectation.
Yeah.
Because there was so much hype on it, and like there's so much in the media and everything about this movie. So I was like, oh, you know, this is going to be really good.
Yeah.
So I think for a start, that kind of already sets it up for fail, for the fact that you're going in there with so much expectation. No, but really, you know what I mean? Like, 'cause sometimes movies you'll go in, you'll think that they're not going to be that great, and then the reason that they're so great is that they actually surprise you.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed the movie, and I thought that Ken character was absolutely hilarious. Like, I just thought it was funny because he reminded me
of like
Ken's ex.
Yeah. No, she did not.
Literally,
honestly, he did. I was sitting there thinking,
listen,
they cast that character.
She said, "Remind of her ex." I love that for you.
I was thinking that. I was like, gosh, that reminds me. But anyway,
honestly,
that's for another day.
I love that.
But,
okay, wait. So, tell me what you thought about the movie, because I want to know, because we went together and we had mixed reviews. Did you love the movie?
I actually really did like it.
Yeah.
And to be honest, you know, for me, I love a girl boss. And for me, I feel like what I loved about the Barbie movie was it just emphasized every type of girl boss there is.
I love that.
And absolutely standing on that, no matter how a man might kind of play his role around that, you never change what you stand on.
Yeah.
That's what I got from it.
I love that. I got from the impression of the movie, it was all over the place. Obviously, like, we always talk about this, like, I'm American, so I understood the politics a little bit more, and I thought it was a little bit political for me. I probably wouldn't have had, if I had my like daughter or son there, I probably wouldn't have them watch it, just because it was a little bit over my head as well. I thought it was like a little bit of the politics.
I would,
yeah.
I
So
would agree. I actually would agree with what you're saying. Like, I actually found some of the messages a little bit confusing. I think for a young girl or woman to watch that, it would probably. It definitely sent a few different messages that I think would actually get quite mixed up. Because obviously it was kind of explaining the idealistic version of what a woman is, I guess, supposed to be through society and media, and what the patriarchy has kind of like evoked over the years and years. Yeah. So I think it has. It definitely played on that, but then also it didn't show men very well at all.
Did it not?
Which I was like, wow. I was like, to be honest, like, I understand fully that women are marginalized and they have been suppressed basically their whole existence.
Right.
But the fact that they basically, you know, really dogged men the whole way through.
They did dog men. They did.
And the only time they really, like, praised men or gave men a chance to kind of show who they were was when Barbie actually said to Ken, you know, no, Ken, you know, you're Ken. You know, that's who you are. You don't have to be anyone. You're not anyone just because of me. You know, you're who you are because you are who you are. Yeah. And that was at the end. And I feel like that was the only time where it kind of evoked a feeling of, like, equality. The rest of the time it was very separate. Yeah. It was like women, men, and like
this black and white.
Yeah. And the women were on this pedestal, and men were like, or men thought that they were God's gift, which, I mean, let's say they think that anyway, don't they? But you know, it was what it basically, it really illustrated that throughout the whole movie. So I thought that was quite interesting. But again, it gave women their chance to kind of like show how they, you know, what's actually happening. And when Barbie went into the real world, she realized, actually, no, that's not what it is like. You know, it is. Yeah. The real world is absolutely nothing like growing up as a little girl thinking what it would be like to be a woman. You know, like, it's not all about looking beautiful. It's not all about, you know, having everyone think that you're the greatest. And honestly, most of the time, being a woman is a big struggle. Yeah. And there's so many things that we face on a daily basis that men don't face. Yeah. You know, ever, and they will never have to face. And I'm not saying that being a woman is harder than being a man or vice versa, but it's like, it did really highlight those things that every single girl is feeling and has always felt, you know, when it comes down to how you look, how much you weigh, you know, whether you want to be a career woman, whether you want to stay at home and look after your children, whether you want to do both, whether you want to be married, whether you want to be single, whether you want to, like, be, I guess, not like, I guess be maybe flirtatious and whether that comes across as being provocative, you know, like it's that whole like argument, those arguments that you've had with yourself for years and years and years, you know, and that is what it basically illustrated. And it was so powerful because you did sit there and you thought, you know, it's not just me that feels like this. You know, it's every single girl.
I think the takeaway from the Barbie movie was really just kind of just be yourself. You know what I mean? Like in a world that is so judgmental. And the thing is, when you can just live life with no regrets and unapologetically as a woman, that's like the best life that you can live, right?
Absolutely.
Like, and it doesn't matter what you look like, what you take away from it, what job you do, what color you are, you know, and we talk about that a lot. Like, I'm American, and the thing is, we face that a lot as being, you know, just being ourselves, you know? Like, Barbie isn't just one color, Barbie isn't just one gender, Barbie isn't just one career woman. It's everything, you know? And Ken doesn't really fulfill the needs of what you can do as a Barbie girl. But also, Ken is a baddie himself.
He is.
Ken is a baddie himself. I'm trying to tell you, listen, when I find my little Ken, it's gonna be Ken and Barbie.
And this is something I found really interesting is like, why did they not kind of show the Kens as having some kind of role in the Barbie world? I mean, I kind of wondered, like, is the brand of Barbie, is that just what the brand of Barbie is? Like, it's very much just female dominated. Like, they haven't really figured out what any of the Kens really do.
But it isn't.
Because they were really just like a prop in the Barbie world. They just kind of stood there on the beach. Like, they really fulfilled kind of no...
Do you know what I think it was?
What?
I think it was... It came from a place of where women are just so sick and tired of being stood on, walked over in the workplace, in social life, in friendships, in relationships by men. That this was produced by women. This was actors, mostly women. I think this movie was their time to say, you know what, we've actually had enough, and we're going to show you, and we're going to tell you a story, and it's going to be made by women because. Every single other movie in the world has actually shown men as being the hero and has made women look like the damsel in distress or with the man, you know. But this movie actually didn't give any light on men. It was all about women, and that's like there's probably only a few movies that have ever been, one, produced like that way, and two, been actually successful. Because movies
the thing is, I kind of have to disagree with you, Jess. Because the thing is, like, at the end of the day, as much as we say, like, I want to be an independent woman, I want to do all the things, we do need, like, a strong man by our side.
No, I'm not saying that we don't, but I'm just saying that...
Don't you think?
I'm talking about the movie. I'm saying that that's where the movie has come from. Because you're talking about, well, why did they not show men in any good light? And I'm saying that is probably because, you know, every single movie has shown a man in a good light, so it's finally time to kind of flip it. But, again, I do agree with what you're saying.
Yeah.
And I think that is also something that we definitely have felt as women, in the fact that, yes, we want to be independent women. Yes, we want to make our own money. Yes, we don't want to rely on a man, da-da-da-da-da. But at the end of the day, we still would love a man. And we also are waiting for a relationship that's worthy of us. And
worthy, of course. I'm glad that you said that, like, something that's worthy of our time and something that just gives us the fulfillment that we need, that we aren't doing with our friends. Like, we go on dates by ourselves, we go on, you know, like, we go on dinner dates, we go on coffee dates, and we want to do something outside of our friendship. You know what I mean? We want to have that long-lasting relationship with men, but something that's just worthy, you know?
I think also, like, with the movie, though, what I kind of liked is, like, when they kind of showed that, you know, you also shouldn't really feel like you need another person in your life to feel fulfilled. Yeah. And I think a lot of that becomes a lot of the problem when people are going into relationships, like any types of relationships.
100%.
If you feel like your happiness or your growth is dependent on this person being with you, being by your side, and without them, it's all going to crumble, like you're nothing without
100%.
them. I think that's like one of the most dangerous things. Because when you attach yourself to somebody like that, honestly, it'll be so easy for things to crumble. And it's
Agreed.
a lot of weight to put on somebody else, like for me to be your everything in that way.
Agreed.
And I mean, that's not, and it's really hard because it's like, at the same time, as women, we love to be like showered on, loved on, like be a little obsessed with
of course.
There is that fine line, and how we always say, like, how it's not about really loving the chase, but it's about like loving the feeling of, he has me in his life, or my partner has me in their life because they just appreciate my company. I think I add something, but without me, they're good.
Of course.
Without me, they're good.
Of course,
So it makes you value your space.
You know what?
Yeah.
I think the thing about it is, like, I have personally been on this journey of, you know, just really finding myself. Yeah. And I think you girls know that. Like, I've been on this journey of just, like, finding myself and really just dating with intent. And that for me means like finding someone that kind of fulfills all the needs that I want where I am in this life right now. And, you know, I don't need to necessarily be with someone, but I just want to find someone who kind of wants to do life with me. And not like for me, or not like for the purpose of just like fulfilling what their needs are.
Tell your friends about